Hi, I'm Dr. Young here at Hudson Physicians, and today we're going to spend a few minutes just talking about intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting can be a pathway to improve your health and wellness. It's one way by which we can get a little control over our diet plan. We can also find health and benefit from some of the calorie restrictions, including some weight loss. With intermittent fasting, which we'll learn more about soon, we can find a better way to cause a metabolic switch and have our body burn some of its extra fuels. What is intermittent fasting? Well, intermittent fasting is where for a certain period of day you have voluntary fasting where you're not eating, and then during certain parts of the day you are actually eating. So it's a controlled periods throughout the 24-hour day or through the 7-day week by which you're choosing to not eat, and then other periods by which you are choosing to consume calories or have food and nutrition. So how do we do this? So if we want to try intermittent fasting, it's really up to you. There's so many different ways to do it. In my own personal life, I've had many time periods where, let's say I eat till 6 o'clock dinner time and then the kitchen is shut down. There's no snacking, nothing else in the evening. And then during the morning, I'm skipping breakfast and then I'm waiting till 10 or 11 in the mid-morning to go ahead and eat something. That's kind of a 16 to 8 ratio. So I have about 16 hours a day that I'm not eating, that my body's resting, refueling, replenishing, and that 8-hour period from, let's say, 10 o'clock in the morning to 6 at night that I'm eating. There's many other different ways. Some people will use alternate days where they restrict calories on certain days of the week. Sometimes there's some things where they go ahead and do 500 or 600 calories 2 days a week. The other 5 days a week, they eat normal. Other people's will have like once or twice a month, they'll fast fully for a day. There's all kinds of plans, but I probably believe the best health benefit is if on a given daily or given weekly basis, you have some fasting. So let's talk for just a second about how it works. When we're intermittent fasting and we're not eating, what happens then is you're not consuming any food or nutrition, and then your sugar levels drop. If your sugar levels drop, there's a bunch of mechanisms in your body by which then it starts to burn the fats. The fatty acids get turned into your bloodstream. They are then turned to ketones and used for energy. So by essence, if we don't eat, we're kind of burning some of the extra fats in our body. That obviously is a metabolic switch. So we're switching our body to use, instead of glucose for its metabolism, for its fuel, to instead use the fatty acid and ketones for its fuel. So intermittent fasting allows your body a period to break down extra fats. That, as you might surmise, leads to potentially some weight loss. So what would be the benefits of intermittent fasting? Well, first thing, if we have less calories in during our voluntary fasting periods, it will help us to have less calories over a given day or week, and it could promote weight loss through that. It also could help us by increasing our insulin resistance. If we have improved insulin resistance, that means we have more sensitivity to glucose. It also will help us process our glucose better and will help with our metabolism. There's also a number of things that would say during that period of voluntary fasting that it allows your body just time to regenerate and refuel. If you're eating 3 meals a day and snacks, your body is constantly spending all of its energy just trying to process that food. And if we have a voluntary period where we're not working on processing our food, we can then process all the other toxins and all the other things in our body to help restore and refuel our body. There is a bunch of other data that talks about things like changing your hormone levels at a cellular level, expressing your genes differently. There's been some data that suggests that it could decrease inflammation. So as you're gathering, all of those could have end health benefits for things like arthritis, dementia, cardiovascular disease, diabetics. And so for our overall health, intermittent fasting and that voluntary fasting period does have a direct effect on our health. Before we finish, just a couple other frequently asked questions. So a couple things to think about. Is it okay to have a meal skipped like breakfast? Yes, it's plenty fine. Your body can adapt. It will have the metabolic switch and you'll just fine. Are there particular foods that you should eat during your time periods of eating? Well, we'd like to encourage a well-balanced diet with plenty of fruits and vegetables and whole grains, but there's no specific diet that you should have other than just being mindful of your calories during those periods of eating. You should try to consume lots of water. You should try to avoid the carbonated beverages or things like soda or pop. Maybe coffee or tea are fine. If you've had other supplements, you continue to take those supplements, that's fine. There would be only a couple age groups maybe that we would really watch the intermittent fasting for. That might be in pregnant women, might be people with eating disorders, people in the middle of a diabetic issue where they have better sugar control with their physician. We also, if we had younger children or teens, would need to be aware that they're doing some intermittent fasting, as most of the intermittent fasting has been done with the adult population. You can continue to work out just as you've done before and shouldn't have to change that regimen. And again, as I said, you should just watch for your symptoms. So if you felt lightheaded or you felt low sugar, you would obviously, even during a period of fasting, want to either rest or support your diet a little bit to correct those feelings. So intermittent fasting, in summary, is just one way to get a little better control of your diet. It's been shown to have a number of health benefits, and obviously most people are going to focus on that one way to control your diet, nutrition, reduce the calories that are coming in, and potentially promote weight loss. There's many other health benefits about just getting control of your nutrition, taking a little charge and control of your health. There's many other benefits that you'll see once you begin, and after a period of 2 to 4 weeks, I believe most patients will start to feel very good on this diet. I encourage you and challenge you to give it a try.